All right.
Hey,
Welcome
hey.
back. Welcome back to the Late Game Link podcast.
Mm-hmm.
My name's Robbie.
I'm Derek.
And just an introduction in case this is your first time. We like to discuss pretty much any and all nerdy media when it comes to video games, movies, books, comics, anything like that. If you're returning, I almost said a returning customer. If you're a
You're kind of a
returning
customer, right?
watcher, yeah.
I don't
If
know.
you're a returning watcher, thanks again for watching. And, we hope we've been enjoying our episodes week to week. Please, again, reach out, comment, subscribe, anything you need to do. And, that'll really help motivate us to put out some good content, I guess.
Yeah, let us know if you
Yeah.
like it. Let us know if you have other thoughts. But thanks for
Yeah.
tuning in.
Oh, yeah.
Episode 6.
Episode 6, yeah. So every week, we kind of start off our episodes discussing things that specifically happened in the week since we filmed our last episode. So I guess, without further ado here, Derek, what do you have to bring to the table from
Yeah.
this week?
It is the fall of 2025, and Gen V. I don't remember. I guess if it was last week. I guess it was last week. The finale of Gen V, which is the Boys spinoff, season 2 aired. As far as we know, it is the final season of Gen V. And without spoiling too much, they've said this publicly. That and the boys are going to intersect, and there's going to be, in the final season of
Like
the boys.
into the final season, yeah.
This season will factor into that, and that's clear from the finale. I'm not going to talk about spoilers.
Yeah,
too
don't
in
worry
depth.
if you're listening. I want to watch it, but I've yet to watch it, so I told him not to spoil too much.
Yeah, what I'll say is I really do like this show. Like, starting there, I like this show more than I like the boys. Like, firmly.
Wow,
I would
really?
say I like the show
Even
more than I like the
more?
boys.
I feel like
it's-
that could even be a hot take. It's not a crazy take, but
I think
I don't think most people would say that. But.
Yeah. I think weirdly The Boys has, and I mean it's a testament to its like success, but it's been around a while. Like, and I even think about how differently the world was at the start of The Boys versus like
yeah.
now. And I feel like Gen V, like, sometimes brevity really serves this sort of thing. If this is like the complete thing of what these characters are and the story and the everything, I feel like it's pretty successful, and I feel like it kind of speaks to things that the boys can't. Just around like, young people dealing with these powers and identity stuff. What I was gonna say is, starting this, I wasn't the most thrilled with the finale.
So you're saying the season starting what? What is this? The season finale of season 2?
The season 2 finale.
Okay.
I wasn't the most thrilled with the episode. It doesn't take away from my enjoyment of the show. I just think and again, like I said, I'm not spoiling anything. If you watch the opening scene of this season, like episode 1, season 2, I fear the big twist that this season is kind of centered around is really easily telegraphed. And maybe it's because I'm into this sort of thing. Like, maybe it's because I've read a lot of comics and I'm into this sort of thing. But I saw there was some conversation online from some of the showrunners and producers that were like, yeah, a lot of people guessed this twist. And it's like, I mean, in a way, it's, you're doing your job, right? Like, your job as a storyteller is
Here's also a question I have, because I think this is important. Is that a huge turnoff for you if you can easily guess the twist?
I'm gonna shake the table. No, it's not a huge turnoff for me, only because I feel like I much prefer that to last minute bait and switch that doesn't make sense. And I'm gonna call out Star Wars here, where I feel like they're trying to like outsmart the audience a little bit. I hate that, because I'm just like, in a way, it would be more impressive to me if you could effectively weave it together, even if it's obvious.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And honestly, my problems with the finale weren't even necessarily... I was hoping, I think, through the season, once it became clear to me as a viewer, toward the end of the season, like, oh, like, this is kind of where this is leading. I was hoping there would be like a layup twist, if that makes sense. Like, yes, and the twist that had become obvious.
Yeah.
And I don't know that it happened that way, so wasn't super thrilled with that. But what I will say, just about the show, and I saw people on TikTok talking about this, so I can't take credit for the original thought that sparked this. But like, I really like in a way, all TV there's an agreed upon value system. There's an agreed upon thing. For example, have you watched Game of Thrones?
Some of it.
Okay.
Not a lot of it, which that is maybe one of my hottest
That's
takes
pretty.
that I
Hey.
own is I'm not the biggest fan of Game of Thrones.
Okay.
But I wasn't even planning on getting into that.
We're gonna put a pin in that. I opened a whole new thing.
Yeah.
But like in Game of Thrones, for example, like the sexualization of the women characters is just an agreed upon norm in the show. Like, yes, it's like, oh, it's like ye olden times, and women were viewed as their bodies and even violently used and stuff like that, and that's just like a thing. But at the same time, it's a fictional universe. You can kind of do whatever you want. And what I like about Gen V, just to kind of connect that point to Gen V, is I don't think there's any female nudity in Gen V. I don't think you see naked women at all. You see hella dicks though, like hella dicks.
They're dropping down.
You see, for real.
Wow.
In one scene this season, a character, and this is disgusting, but a character in the show can grow and shrink, and she shrinks down to try to infiltrate like somewhere she's not supposed to be, and the villain, she does it by going through like the sewer system, and so she's in the toilet.
Oh god!
But like the villain sits down on the toilet, and you see his dick and balls and ass, like
from, like above the person.
You don't see anything come out, but you do see a major character's dick, balls, taint, and asshole.
Yeah, that's good. That's great.
Which I've never seen in a show before. And like that same character who grows and shrinks, when she grows and shrinks, obviously her clothes either rip or she becomes too small for them. But we have never seen that character naked. Which would be so easy. You see like hints of nudity,
especially with how graphic the show is.
Yeah. But like even when she has been like big or small, I mean, you'll see that she's naked. You'll see like her back. You'll see that just enough to know that she is naked. But you don't see nips. You don't see anything else going on. And I feel like that is so. Again, just like in terms of an agreed upon norm, something I really value about this show, because it would be so easy, especially in our current moment, to just be like, oh, well, like tits and ass, and that's what we're pulling for. There's kind of easy streams that way.
This is my question also. I don't know if there'd be a good way even to keep track of this, or like wouldn't assume you to be keeping track, but are all the people that have showed nudity in the show, are they all older characters?
No. There's because they're like college age in the show.
Okay. Because I could see a world where they're like, look, we're like you kind of hinted on before, like growing up, and like it's called Gen V, almost like as if Gen Z, and it's like that would be kind of weird for them to be like, let's sexualize 18-year-olds, like it's. I mean, I could maybe see that also having like a factor to it.
No, you see college age like dudes' dicks, which is like, hey, I mean, maybe there's a conversation to be had there, but I don't know.
It's always been 18-year-old girls being under the headlamp, so
exactly.
We don't need that, to be successful. Maybe is how they're taking it,
and it's a subtle thing. I feel like it's there's also a trans adjacent character in the show who I feel like is really centered in a way that you just don't really see, especially in 2025. A character that they describe themselves as bigender, but they can switch between a male form and a female form, and each form has different powers. And
that's they're in the first season, right?
Of Gen V?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you did see the first season.
I saw the first season. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I feel like, and that character in this season,
when they have to deal with their parents, right?
Yes.
Because don't they hide the one gendered self from the parents?
They did, and then part of, I think,
at the end of
season 1,
it
was like, this is me.
Yeah.
I mean, their identity is heavily politicized in this season, to the point where, I mean, the show really ebbs and flows, so I'm not really like blowing up too much here, but like at one point they're really in the good graces of the school and are celebrated, and they have on campus, like on a college campus, they have like the flag things. They have like holographic ones
Like
that
a
as your
flagpole.
yeah. Well, they, and like a flag that shows like smiling student.
Oh, like the banners. Like
Yeah, like a banner.
Okay.
They have holographic ones that shift their male and female form, like
Oh, wow,
what being
really?
celebrated.
Wow.
And then when they're in the bad graces of the community, they like are very publicly smeared as a trans person, and said, and they have female students come out and talk about like, oh, like, Jordan flashed their penis at me in the locker room, and like it's used to smear them.
Oh, wow.
And it's very current and it's very aware, and it's just
I think that whole franchise does well with being current.
Yeah.
I feel like they have hit that so well compared to anything I can think of that, as is a weird connection. But like currently I can only think of like something like South Park.
Yeah.
Or something animated where they can really whip up something quick to like be current. But when you do it with live action, I can't, at least something recent, I can't think of something that does as well as they do with like keeping it towards current events.
And I think that's why even season 1 of The Boys, like at the time, was really revolutionary. And I'm not going to say that it aged poorly. I think that it's not done yet, so that's really going to be the determiner.
Yeah.
But like I want to say, I don't remember what year it came out, but The Boys season 1, like we were definitely still having Me Too adjacent conversations, and that was Starlight's one of her central plot points in the first season was being very publicly harassed or initially harassed and assaulted. So I think there's, again, I like this franchise. I hate the comic. I don't remember if I talked about that on the podcast. Comic is not good, but the show...
I think you have mentioned that once, very briefly.
The show really, really hit for me. And even though... And this is why...
Is Gen V a comic?
No.
Okay, so that's their own thing then.
It's based on... There's an arc where they go to the school's Godolphin University, and they go to Godolphin in the comics. And it's actually a straight up X-Men, like, 1-for-1. Like, Godolphin is like...
It makes sense, yeah.
But it's... I'm not even on this podcast going to say what the twist in the comic was, but it is literally disgusting. It is just a terrible, disgusting decision.
And for that franchise, for it to be disgusting... is saying something. I feel like it's gonna be bad.
We might get taken off YouTube if I get into it. So let me just leave that there. I hate the comic, but like I said, the show really, really endeared me to it, even to the point where me not liking this finale is not enough for me to like steer people away. Like if anything, I feel like I want to be kind of loud, like on a podcast about what I don't like about this finale, because if we're still developing and filming and doing all that with the final Boys season, we got to learn from this. We have to, maybe just not telegraph as clearly, and also, be, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like in a world where, where there is you throw a rock in any direction, you hit like a superhero thing that's going on. I just feel like we have, especially when you are you're moving the needle in the ways I described, you kind of have a responsibility to like really go there. Like I want you to really, really shake the table and not give me like something that I feel like I read in a comic book like 7 years ago, Like I think that there are aspects of this, I'm not even going to get into all the specifics of it. Watch the show. I do really like it. That's my Gen V.
All right.
Review.
All right. Little update. All right.
And then the only other thing I have is kind of quick in terms of a hot topic this week. But it is there's a new game coming out in December that I was not excited for until I started to watch some clips. It's called Marvel Cosmic Invasion, and it is a like, it's not 8-bit, but it's kind of like that sort of style, like beat 'em up. Very 90s aesthetic. It's actually set in like a 90s Marvel comic universe. But is
it like a 2D like arcade side scroller type thing? Wow,
it is. And cool. It's kind of like the X-Men arcade game. But
that's awesome.
The character lineup is inspired by like I said, 90s Marvel, so that's kind of what it
Oh
is. So
wow.
you have like some staples like Wolverine, Captain America.
I feel
This
like I
is
remember seeing a trailer for this or something. Maybe on like an E3 or whatever. You
yeah.
know how they have these
Oh yeah.
big like, we're just gonna announce all these trailers today, sort of day. I saw it.
It but like the cast is insane. They have 90s Nova, Richard Rider, Phi Lavelle. I'm not even gonna explain Phi Lavelle to you, but she's a badass space warrior
That's a
with a
cool
sword.
sword. That's a cool
I
looking
live
sword.
for Phi
Yeah.
Lavelle. She is so cool. Spider-Man, Storm, Venom.
Wow.
It's just a
Venom.
really
Wow.
really
Wow.
cool lineup, very 90s aesthetic, and I just really I don't know. I'm excited for a game that is, I don't want to say low stakes, but it seems very straightforward in a way that I'm kind of comforted by. So with really cute sprites and
Yeah.
details. So yeah,
Yeah, that looks nice. You know me. I've been asking for them to them as if I'm talking about the Men in Black.
the ubiquitous,
The people to
out there
make
somewhere.
more modern versions of older styled games like that. Exactly. That's a perfect example of
Yeah.
they make a new modern side scroller arcade beat 'em up. Like that's cool. Like, and I think that'll, and again, and this is going to get into one of my topics of the week. So
Look at that. Look at that.
maybe I'll talk about it
Oh,
now.
we're like Pacific Rim and Sync right now.
Yes,
It feels great.
exactly. Which fucking love those movies.
Yeah,
Those are
hey.
awesome. But so yeah, it's getting me into like, well, why do they not do it that more? And we kind of briefly talked about this, about how everything needs to be geared towards kids and getting their mom's credit cards on the device that they play at to spend fucking money. Like so I think that's a big reason as to why maybe a lot of these older games, because ideally what kid is going to play that in the age of Fortnites, which I want to bitch a little bit about.
Oh,
About has Fortnite done irreparable damage, or has it done some sort of good when it comes to free games? This week, Battlefield 6, maybe not this, like last week I think is when they announced it, but it comes out this week. They're having like a battle royale version. So for example,
Game
like
mode.
Call of Duty has like their Black Ops games and stuff. I think they're just recently coming out with Black Ops 7, and then they have Warzone, which is like the free like battle royale game. And then Battlefield 6 just came out, and they're like, "Oh, by the way, we're going to have a battle royale mode that's for free." And there's part of me that has really thought that things like Fortnite
specifically.
has done some damage in the gaming world. And because again, it's all what is going to make changes to these games is how they make money, right? So I don't know if I like the world that we're in, where the free, see, I'm conflicted. That's what it is. I'm conflicted. Part of me is like, that's awesome that I can get a free game, like a main AAA title game for free. But then it's like, what kind of battle pass like slop are they gonna like put into this, right? Are there aspects where it feels like it's pay to win, or at least pay to get an edge, right?
Yeah.
With like the battle pass and getting like different guns or whatever it is. So I'm kind of conflicted about it. I had a couple friends text me and say they want to download it and play it. So I think I'm going to have, maybe some talks next time. See if I even give it a try. That's just something I wanted to talk about in general, and maybe see what you think about some of this stuff. Do you feel like this new age of free games is good or bad?
I feel like free games in my mind, like, independent of the system, are not bad per se, but they do exist within the system. So it's just like yeah, I think my issues with Fortnite more so come from like and in a way, it's like, okay, like we're, getting the license or whatever it is to feature like Goku and Peter Griffin and, Marge Simpson. I love that. Like that's like cute to me, but at the same time, I think it pushes me to this like fear a little bit about this specific like gaming overall, because Fortnite is, I hate to like say this, but like Fortnite is gaming to like probably like 50-60%, like, or at least that model.
Anybody under the age 16 or under.
Yeah.
Like
and it's cool in like a when I first was introduced to the concept of like you ever see Ready Player One?
Oh yes.
Like,
I've read the book. That's one of my favorite books.
Fortnite is Ready Player One, right? Like, you have Iron Giant and fucking like I said, all these things.
Who was it? Who did a concert? Was it like 21 Savage or something?
Travis Scott.
Travis Scott.
pre killing people at Astroworld did do a Fortnite concert.
Like, what is happening?
Enemy of the pod, Travis. Unfortunately, you did.
Yeah,
and then posted a black and white video being like, "Man, I'm so sorry, guys, about."
That's an easy one to put on the list.
You
on the enemy of the pod list.
Hey, but also Ariana Grande had it at Fortnite concert.
That's wild.
I'm trying to think. Oh, Daft Punk just did one that was very cool and engaging.
Oh,
I don't play
really?
Fortnite,
Wow.
but I watched a clip of it. I'll show you a clip after.
Okay.
Very, very cool. So like, I like that stuff, but at the same time I'm like, but if everything is gonna be Fortnite, if we're essentially going to see gaming shift into this like, hub world thing, I just worry that like if that's going to be the only thing that's lucrative, and the way to do it, like you said, is to like get people to get their parents' credit cards on file and then buy like $1,500 in Roblox or whatever the fucking word is.
That's the Roblox is also a part of this.
It's definitely not Roblox
slop,
either, but I logged into Fortnite and bought Roblox, and I feel like
He's an unk.
it is a little weird to me. It is a little weird because it's like. And again, especially for young kids, like the kids who are actually playing Fortnite all the time, it's like, I hate to be like this person. This is definitely very unk of me, but like, are you having fun? Like, what's fun about this? Is the fun that like streamers who make money pushing this onto you are doing it and spending money doing it, cool thing, and then you're encouraged to spend money and do it, versus like, not to be like times were better, but like, I mean, hey, when all you had to do was like get the cartridge to put in your Game Boy to play the thing, it was different. It just was.
It was, Hey. From people who grew up, I'm like selling things at a garage sale. I'm selling my current game that I've completed, a cartridge that I've completed. I want to keep it, but I want to get a new game, so I have to sell the cartridge just to try to get some used game at the used shop. Like, now picture that person being like, oh, well, this game is free, but like, you can also spend $30 on the battle pass and some skins. And I'd be like, no.
Right.
Like, that doesn't compute when things were, the way money was made was different. And the purpose of games were different.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I'm majority against it. But then there is a part of me that's like, well, if it's good enough of content for free, I know I'm not incentivized ever, usually, to pay for things I don't need to in a game.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to, that's fine. But I'm just not one of those people. But what happens, where is the line, and what happens when it goes over the line of that being prioritized so much to the point that the content itself is being changed, right? Yeah. And that's where I'm just like, I feel like we've just been snowball down the hill nonstop. Just, it keeps going that direction and getting worse and worse and worse. I think I remember I was playing those same friends who wanted to play Battlefield. We were playing Warzone together, which I'm usually not playing these games too much. I'll talk about how I just started Cyberpunk. But I do like games like that, so I can talk to my friends, especially if we live in different places and can't see each other as much, like that kind of stuff. I do really enjoy, so I'll play anything. And I remember they're like, oh, you gotta like use that sniper with that scope, and I go in, it's like I can't even unlock it because I don't have like this, and they even tie in like their games that you do pay for that unlocks guns for like the other game, and I'm like, well, I don't have that game. And like I remember going in being like, well, half the shit I can't even use. And that's when it was just like, all right, this is, I don't know, it's getting worse, right? The fact that multiple games are being connected together and that you could only get, it's like fucking Pokemon which one of the only gripes I've had with Pokemon is that you had to buy both games to get all the Pokemon.
Yeah.
It's like the same shit. They're like, well, you can't unlock everything in this because you need Black Ops 7 or whatever, right? So, I don't know. This is like the first time I feel like I've seen that on a mainstream. And I'm sure it's not going to stop. So I don't know. That's something I wanted to point out.
I'm going to take this opportunity to say shout out to the Baldur's Gate development team because you won Game of the Year and you didn't sell out.
And you
didn't do paid DLC and it would have been so easy for a game like Baldur's Gate to do that. You know what they did instead? Is they made mods available on all consoles and platforms so you could just make the game whatever you want, you know? Yes. Shout out to you. Awesome. You
friends of the pod.
Baldur's Gate development team. And they accepted the Game of the Year award. The main developer was in a suit of armor on stage accepting
Really?
That. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't see that.
They're real bitches over there.
That's awesome. That is a good game, which I'm currently playing through. And another game I've just started, because I always like to have a mobile deviced game that I'm playing at all times. What did I just finish? I just finished something else. But now, the game I'm starting new, I can't praise enough again, the mobile get like the Steam Deck. I love it. It's so great. I started up Cyberpunk 2077 on the Steam Deck. Not much on this point, to be completely honest. It's just something that in my gaming life I have just started. Had it in the past when it first came out. It was really buggy, and eventually they made it a lot better. And I was like, one day I'll do it. Now that I have a Steam Deck, it's awesome.
Can I ask what origin you went with for your character, if you recall?
So when I first played, way back when it first came out, I chose like the street person, or what are the, I forget the name. It's nomads, and it's like the street person,
and then a corpo.
I chose corpo this time.
I also did corpo. For my
oh, really? Wow. Yeah. I mean, I like it. I think it's a cool tie-in. But yeah, and again, I guess and maybe I haven't played it enough because I only have so many hours in it. Does your background really affect it that much?
I would say it does, only in that, like, especially on like story missions later on. Okay.
There was one like so to give you an example, then I feel like you'll be able to give a good take on it. You know the whole you gotta spoilers for a game that's been out for 5 years.
Yeah, I mean,
when you're going to do the whole like steal the chip from the company in the hotel.
Yes.
And the lady is like, your alias is you're meeting some big guy for a business meeting or something, and she goes, "Oh, I'm going to notify that guy right now for you." Yeah. And one of the options, because they were like, "No, that's not part of the plan. Like, he doesn't know that you're coming because it's fake, right?" And she's like, "Quick, say something before she contacts that important person." And one of them was the corpo option, and you went full like finance bro. And that's what I chose because I was like, "Oh, corpo, this can help me in this situation." And he goes, "Did I tell you to do that?" And he like immediately starts going like, "No, you just do what you're told." And because he's been in that corporate life before of like how people act towards people who are like doing those types of jobs, right? So I feel like, but again, it's like the grass is always green, or grass is greener on the other side, or whatever. Hindsight's 2020. I don't know what it is, but I don't know what would happen if I didn't choose that.
Well, that's the thing is I also played corpo, so I'm not going to be good at reflecting, the other roads here. But what I will say is, as you get more into the game, there are, especially like there's one big story mission I'm thinking of in particular, where you have to infiltrate like a base, and the corp like. You obviously can go about this in this game. It's a really, especially in 2025, they have fixed a lot of the issues that were present at the beginning, and it's a really thorough RPG. So you could just, from a building, start sniping people. You could go in guns blazing, katana drawn, and just go in like that.
You could sneak.
You could sneak.
Good, the tech route.
But I was able to bypass a large chunk of it by walking to the back entrance and going with the corpo voice option. Yeah. And again, it's something that just wouldn't have been available if I chose another background. So I do think it factors in, like I said, even on story missions.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So I chose corpo. I thought that'd be a cool after doing the street again, it's like street something, I forget what it's called. That I don't know why, to me, felt like the least fun option, even though that seems to encapsulate the point of Cyberpunk, if that makes sense. You know, like I feel like they almost like want you to pick that because it's like you're from the streets in like this like cyberpunk-esque. I mean, the game is called Cyberpunk. Like it's a whole like genre. It's a whole brand. You know. So I don't know. I was like, you know, I almost felt like no. Like I got tricked by doing that the first time. I want to try something like different and did Corpo.
Well, what was exciting to me about Corpo is that I feel like there's like a Goldilocks situation with those three origins where like when you think about cyberpunk as a genre, like what defines it, it is like, you know, it's the system we currently live in, but like to the nth extent, like you really stretch all of the awfulness that comes with like, you know, hypercapitalism. Again, I'm trying not to
advancements.
we gotta have a jar where I put $1 in every time I say capitalism on this podcast. Yes. I'm trying to stop, but like, like, you know, commitment to tech and unbound tech development, and you know, people literally have like USB ports behind their ear in this world, and I feel like Corpo is full on commitment to that. In fact, to the point where it's lucrative for you and you're able to rise the ranks. The, you know, more so street race, not racer, but you know, you're a cool street guy.
I want to say like street rat, but that doesn't sound
either, that's like essentially what it is.
Yeah.
But like, you know, you're kind of in the middle, right? Like you obviously are in the society and you're scamming people like the corpos are, but you're doing it in a way that's not tolerated versus Nomad where you're off the grid and there's like a lack of commitment to what's going on. And I love those options. It just
is cool. It is very cool. So yeah, I started playing that. I think I will, once I get further in, when big things happen, like I've had Jackie die already, you know, that happens like very that happens very early into the game.
It does. And it's kind of telegraphed. Come on. Like
I mean the scene before that mission where you're sitting there at the bar and they're talking about like the name of that drink, and the bartender, he's like, oh, like how do you get a drink like named after you? And she goes, well, you gotta like die. And I was like, he's fucking dead. I was like, or his mom, or I don't know. I was like, somebody important's fucking dying, right? It's probably gonna be him.
You are to be clear, you are like 30 minutes into this game and there's heavy like one last job energy. Like, come on, like you.
Oh yeah, I was like, well, fuck, he's gonna die. And they really make you like him, you know.
He's a cool guy.
He's a likable guy. So. But yeah, so I might just chime in every once in a while about once I get more hours into it. But I've been enjoying it, and the Steam Deck portable gaming is sick. It's so cool. I am all in. I love it. It has like changed my gaming like day-to-day life.
I have one more question for you about this topic, and then I can let us move on. But have you heard of or seen Cyberpunk Edgerunners on Netflix?
No, I have not. I've heard of it, though. Is it good?
It is set within the world of this game. Like, it is... It explicitly... The events of this game, of this show, explicitly occur, like, right before the events of the Cyberpunk game. Okay. And it's an anime. Very stylized. Really...
So you've watched it, I'm assuming.
It's not my recommendation of the week, but it is on the recommendation list. Okay, awesome. Really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it.
Well, yeah, I might have to give it a look once I get into this game, because I can tell it's hooked me way more this time than the first time I tried playing it.
Yeah,
which I feel like that happens sometimes in games. Sometimes you're just not feeling it, or you don't have the time, or whatever it is. You're like, well, maybe I'll try again one day. This just happened to be a bunch of like just a bad launch of the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm hooked. Like I definitely am like excited to have a game, like a single player game like this, kind of hook me again, because trying to get more into that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't have any other more topics of the week. But we do have, and what we try to do every episode is we always try to bring at least one hot take to the table. Because what is a podcast if you don't piss people off on the internet?
You have to rage bait a little bit.
It's like you have
to.
It's just it's baked into the formula. So I guess I can go first here since we've already been talking.
Go for it.
It kind of talks about or it kind of relates to that whole like Fortnite irreparable damage in like the slightest way possible. But I kind of had like the realization the other day that collectibles. What made me think of it was Pokemon cards, but like collectibles, old games, like getting things fucking graded, anything like even like you see it with Legos because they're like, oh, we don't make that set of Legos was made 20 years ago. This shit should all be worthless, or maybe not worthless, but like it should be so abundant to people that it's worth like what it's worth, if that makes any sense. Because we were talking with I was talking with coworkers about like Pokemon cards, and the fact that a line of cardboard, shiny pieces of cardboard, and this is coming from somebody who has collected Pokemon cards their entire life. Mm-hmm. The fact that shiny pieces of cardboard that are supposed to be for kids, I can't even walk into a Target and buy them because they're that scalped to the point where people are just using this as like a gambling vessel is insane. I wish Pokemon cards were, and this is coming from somebody who has recently sold a Pokemon card for like $400. I've only sold one card ever in my life. I've always bought the packs and I immediately open them. You have have you heard of the card trick? Where people open these packs and they're like, well, we got it because the hit's got to be in the back. It's like, what the fucking hit? Why are we calling it a hit? Like when I bought cards as a kid, you just open the pack and you just ruffle through them and see if you got something good.
I will say
Pokemon that you like.
I have done that with Magic cards only because I feel like getting a land at the end is anticlimactic. I like the climax because it is usually like the shiny special one. Or is that what we're talking about?
Yes, but if you're truly doing it for like because you want like a cool card for your deck or something, then okay, great. But like that's not why this like card trick was invented. It was 100% invented for live streaming people opening packs to then further the conglomerate that is just fucking people over and making Pokemon cards worth $100,000.
Yeah,
and it's ridiculous. That's why they have the card trick, because they're just hitting people with fucking gambling dopamine on live streams. It's. I kind of had that realization the other day where it's like all this, even some of the games that I've been trying to get from my childhood. I'm like, why is a GameCube game $200, right? Or like, why is Heart Gold Soul Silver? In that shop I told you I went in the other day. I just wanted to see how much it was. They were selling for like $180 for Heart Gold, just a loose copy of it. And I don't know, something about this just feels wrong. I might have to put my money into the capitalism jar, but I just think it's bullshit. And I know some people are, and I'm sure people who could listen and watch us can easily be a part of that sphere. And maybe you have a reason to tell me why a Charizard is worth $500,000.
So
but to me, I think it's absurdity. I think it's fucking, and I love Pokemon cards. I have so many. I collect them. Mm-hmm. I will never buy Pokemon cards that aren't MSRP, and I'm just a person who's pissed that I can't buy them MSRP because they're always out. So you got to fist fight somebody in a Target. So.
To make sure I understand your point, your hot take is that like the scalping culture around this is like killing the
scalping
like,
and like it's like the artificial what's that called, like I don't know if it's like inflation or what. It's probably like a finance term, but when they artificially like make something worth more than it is, and they do that with like stocks and stuff. Like that's what's happening with like kids' toys. Mm-hmm. Like even like Funko Pops, Legos, like any sort of collectible is being turned. And again, like the old games, right? Like if I want to buy a GameCube game, I understand that having some worth to it, right? Because it's like I now own this forever and I have a device that could play it, and like that is kind of cool. But the fact that it's being sold for, triple, quadruple, 5 times more than it was brand new is just insane to me.
Yeah.
But again, those at least serve a purpose, and that I can see an argument way more to be like, oh, well, there's only a finite amount of them in the world, whatever, and it actually serves a purpose. But like, shiny pieces of cardboard do not serve a purpose. It is like, it feels like money laundering or something, or gambling, or everything in between.
I think that's why, again, we're putting it all in the capitalist jar. Mm-hmm. But I feel like there's this issue permeates this hobby. In fact, I feel like where this issue most prominently for like your average Joe right now manifests is like concert tickets, right? Like concert tickets is so where I feel like that's why, for
people
especially
are buying them on these like pre-release. Only a certain amount of people can buy a pre-release ticket just to resell them.
It's and to the point where like most people like I don't know like I know people still go to concerts and everything, but like the drama and the way that this is all played out, like it genuinely kills people's enthusiasm for what should be like a hobby or an outlet, that again when it was not always like this, and it doesn't have to be like this.
And I'm not even like. We're not even supposed to be the target audience for this, right? I guess now because we grew up with Pokemon, so it's like, or Legos if you grew up with Legos, and I wouldn't say Legos are as like quote unquote childish than like Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
And I'm not shaming anybody for buying anything you want because I buy nerdy shit and childish type things.
Sounds pretty shamey. No, I'm just kidding.
But I don't know. It's just one of those things where. Like, I even feel bad for people who, like, have kids.
Yeah.
Like, or even just the kids in general. Like, they think of Pokemon cards as, like, gambling. That's essentially what it is. Like, I don't even think, I used to be buying these cards. We would play with these on the playground.
Yeah.
Remember that? Like, you'd come here like, dude, I got a Charizard in my pack, and it does 120 damage, and I can kill fucking anything. I'm going to battle you. Like, it was sick. And now they're just like, oh, I got a shit card. I just throw them away.
Yeah. I definitely had binders full of useless, worthless cards. But, it was like it was about collecting, and it was about these being mine. Got to catch them all, versus got to catch the most lucrative,
The chase cards.
Yeah.
Like,
is it chase cards?
That's what it's called, the chase card of like the set. Yes, it's the one you're chasing. And again, some people are like collectors. But then you are also buying. So, like, for example, some people might not be like, oh, I'm not a scalper. But at the same time, you're like, well, I really want that chase card in that set. And I can buy it raw for like $150. Like, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
Like, to me, I'm like, that's feeding into it. Like, and again, if you can tell me, reasons why you think it's worth it, spend $150 on a card from a set that just came out, but I just think it's insane. I think some sort of conditioning has happened to make people feel like, well, this is my hobby, this is what I collect, and yeah, that's a rare card. It's like this is just Pokemon slots. Like that's all this is. You should be able to walk into any Target and buy 1 million Pokemon packs if you want to. I think they're purposely keeping them only printed a certain amount. I mean, I can dive down a rabbit hole. But that's just my hot take. I think these kind of collectibles should be worthless. And it should just be enjoyed, not sold.
I definitely sympathize with that perspective. And what I will say is we brought up Funko Pops. I'm not going on my Funko Pop rant today. Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z.
5 of these things now. We're like, that's not going to be today.
Well,
we should keep like a thing that's like next time.
I'm writing down Funko Pop rant so that at the top of next one we get into that because yes. But also I was going to ask, kind of tying your two hot takes together. Do you know anything about the video game Genshin Impact? Like, do you know anything like about how that game works or like what it is?
No. I've never played it.
We're putting a pin in Genshin Impact because it is unfortunately the dark fusion of like Fortnite free to play, but also gambling slop for like 8-year-olds, and it is I will launch into this when I'm more prepared at a later date. But
all right.
Yeah. No, I love your hot takes. I think I'm in agreement with both of those hot takes, and I feel like they're pretty hot. You're fighting the system.
I am. Yeah, I think a lot of people would disagree. So, I think it also depends how avid of a collector you are of certain things and what your age is. I think that also heavily affects. I think people who are older than us would think that's a hot take. And I think that people younger than us would think, I think we are in that sweet spot of that. Like, I mean, the 90s and the early 2000s were like a crazy fucking time for the things that we're speaking on now, like media and like tech evolution. Like, I feel like we really were in that sweet spot.
I think we were, and I saw this in the perspective, just to launch into, not a whole point, but like, there was like a conversation on TikTok a couple months ago that was about like it was not you'll see the connection shortly, but it was like who are like the it girls of like Disney Channel right now, because obviously we're not engaged in that, so we don't know. First, when we were a kid, it was Hilary Duff, Raven Simone, Ashley Tisdale, what's her name, Brenda Song. Like they were just like kind of it kid celebrities, and like who is that today? And I saw someone say, well, there are none, because the time that we grew up, like where there was a vast for children media landscape it didn't exist before and it didn't exist after. And like right now, I mean, kids are twerking to Sexy Red. I hate to say, if that's shocking to you, wake up,
holy shit.
Look through your kid's internet history. But I just, I think it's like what you said is true. Like we did kind of have like a sweet spot of,
which was good and bad.
Oh, for sure.
If you're
sure.
We had some like untainted, like the system hadn't completely grasped it and got their claws into it, but it was also like hella unregulated, and like this is the first time kids are like being introduced to these kind of things, and so it's like double-edged sword. But
and the conversation that I saw on TikTok specifically was kind of framed around like it's bad in that like there's not media for kids, but it's good because like there was so much abuse and exploitation, and when there was like a vast children's media landscape with kids as actors and the people doing that. So shout out to Jeanette McCurdy, friend of the pod. I'm glad my mom died, because she has opened up a lot
I've been seeing, I need to look more into that, because I've seen that that's her book, right? I gotta get more into that, but so I don't know, those are my hot takes. I've ranted enough. You are up.
I have a couple hot takes. The first one, this episode will be posted on October 27th. So these are Halloween related. In general, hot take number one for Halloween, try or don't. Like, I really feel like if you half-ass a costume, there is nothing I hate more than, and I understand, hey, you don't always have the funds or the energy, and like, that's not what I'm talking about. I feel like it is really clear a lot of the time how much someone thought about their costume. And I just think that if you like think about it a little bit, even if you're like doing like a fun meme, or I don't know, you're 6 and your friend is 7 and you're 6'7", sure. I think that's like that's funny and it's a concept, but I really
fuck these kids, fuck the 6'7".
I'm 6'7" neutral.
Fortnite's bullshit, it's hard.
I am Switzerland on 6'7". But I do appreciate just like thought in costumes, and I feel like maybe we'll talk about our costumes later. But I am
stay tuned.
Big fan of that. And then hot take 1.5 is just, and this may apply to you in the audience. If it does, I'm sorry, but like I hate a bitch that is too cool for Halloween. Like, I feel like Halloween is like one of the few times, like as an adult, where I feel like we do get to tap into their, like, I like want to shake people in their cubicles, and I want to be like, we're not supposed to live like this. Like, you're actually supposed to be having fun as a human. You're supposed to be like dressing up and exploring and finding yourself. You know how many people find themselves on Halloween? You know how many people, especially like gay people and trans people, like how many people like put on a wig or makeup for the first time on Halloween, and it fundamentally shifts an aspect of the human experience for them. Like you tap into something that you don't usually get to tap into. I just love Halloween. I understand every holiday someone has, trauma associated with. So if that's your situation, girl, obviously I'm not talking to you, but like, I just feel like if you are anti the holiday Halloween, I'm anti you, unfortunately. It is, and sure, there's, capitalism in the jar, factors in, people spending a ton of money, on candy and costumes, and, fast fashion is absolutely like exploited and tapped for this right now. But at the same time, you don't have to do it that way, and that's what I kind of appreciate. So
it's not crazy to ask people to want to let loose and enjoy themselves and not have some sort of, ooh, you're going to look weird, or like, oh, you're, like, I feel like it's easily something that could be a bully, like you could get bullied for, maybe in the past especially, but it's something where I'm struggling. I'm going off the rails here. I don't know what my point is. I don't know what my point is. It's something where I feel like the people who are too cool, it gives me that feeling that like, oh, are they the kind of people to say, oh, you're being weird, or like, oh, yeah, no, like that's how it feels. Like, just express yourself and have fun. Like, why are you too cool? It's because you're probably gonna be a person to bully somebody to, like, or you just don't think it's a good thing. I don't know.
Even to the point where, like Halloween, as I'm gonna get meta. We're gonna tap on the fourth wall for a sec. But like the holiday Halloween, like from Halloween movies and Halloween monsters and stars of Halloween, or the main characters of Halloween movies, they center the disenfranchised. They center like the downtrodden and the people that are not typically, the stereotype in a horror movie is that if you're the cool guy or the cool girl having sex, then you're gonna die. And the final girl is often not necessarily someone who fits into a traditional framework. And also a lot of these villains, in Halloween monsters and ghouls and shit like that are so iconic, are sympathized with so heavily by like, I'm really tapping like the, gay and trans kind of like lens of this. But it's like just fundamentally misunderstood figures that, I mean, yeah, they start killing people. But like there's sympathy for that aspect of the human condition. And I think that if you are turned off by this conversation, or you're not sympathetic to the direction that kind of points you in, I think it's worth examining. And that's me tapping on the glass, just saying like, if you
get them,
if you can't understand why people really like this holiday, and also, like I'm going to say also, it's not heavily like, hey, you need to be on good terms with your family for this holiday, or this is going to bring up those sort of things. That's another reason that it like appeals to a certain demographic of people. And I encourage people to interrogate maybe why they question or have some, hang-ups about that. But those are my 2 Halloween hot takes, and then I have one more that I think is pretty hot. And it's a direct, I'm coming directly for,
oh, here we go.
You
ain't gonna be confused about who you're
right, if this is for you, you will know it's for you. But Halo is like trash, absolutely, like the worst. Like you
everything Halo, the games.
You can go to Hell Halo, and everyone working there right now. And I say that because I did play Halo a few times as a child. It wasn't my big game. I had friends that was their big game. I feel like there were Halo people,
huge,
right? Like
people who had Xbox, and Xbox 360. Yeah,
it was like, hey, you're a Halo guy, and it's like, I don't need Uncharted. Uncharted, I have Halo 7. Like, okay. So and sure, hey, sometimes you just play a game and you latch onto it. So if you're offended by that, sure. But what I will say
to extend the olive branch to people. When I went to friends, because I never had Halo, but when I went to friends' houses, I did play Halo with them and I enjoyed it. So I would say this is a pretty hot take.
I don't know if I have to, first of all, I have to get off X, the everything app, Twitter. I can't be on there.
I feel like it's hurting your mental health at the end of the day.
But this came across my desk this week, where apparently they said like GameStop put out some sort of statement, right? That was like, officially declaring the console wars are over. After 20 years, the console wars are over because Halo, whatever the next one that's coming out in 2026, is going to come out on PlayStation and will be cross-platform. So GameStop put out like a press release, like very official looking document that said the console wars are officially over. Which they then kind of got latched onto by a certain demographic online as like, under the current presidential administration, he's ending so many wars. He ended the console wars, which, like, hey, gamers are gonna joke. A lot of gamers
That's
are
not where I thought this was.
A lot of gamers are whatever. But GameStop, the official account, I'm gonna show Robbie this image, but tweeted a photo of Master Chief shaking hands with Donald Trump, and the White House then is posting AI images of Donald Trump in the Master Chief armor. And the Homeland Security account is posting Halo-inspired...
Finishing this fight, and they're driving a Warthog from Halo.
Destroy the Flood is what it says, and they have a gun mounted on a thing. So I don't like the word pussy because I don't like that. But energy-wise, everybody working at Halo who is like, we don't want to rock the boat, we don't want to like come out against this.
You got to come out against it.
It's like Germany in 1939. So just think about the choices you're making and who you're aligning with. And that's my rant on Halo. I just wish the people. I mean, it's Microsoft, so I mean their spots in hell are secured. But like at the same time, I would hope that you would be like, we don't endorse the use of our really valuable IP. By an administration that is that somewhere in America right now there are people in a detention center with their hands bound, like eating out of a dog bowl. You know what I mean? Like I just feel like there are lines that we shouldn't be okay with our like childhood crossing. So
yeah, they did that with the I was pissed. They did that with the Pokemon, the ice stuff. They were like, gotta catch them all. Oh, that was livid.
And Nintendo.
I almost went fucking nuclear on my socials, which I try to. Keep myself very like, which I feel like I need to post more in general. I just very much just like surf in the background and just look at everybody else's stuff, but I hardly ever post. I was about to go nuclear that day. Like
it's
I was like people were about to like be cussed out by me like heavily.
And seeing people and seeing these companies like capitulate, it's like I understand there's a lot of pressure, and in a way that's how we got to this point because people are so afraid of becoming a target of, a certain demographic online. Yeah. You don't want to become viewed as being against what's going on at a certain level. But what's more valuable? I don't know. I hate Halo thing is not based on
probably like they're like, oh, I'm gonna lose my job if I say something. That's probably what it is. Which puts people in a tough...
Hey, and nobody's working, and there's no food stamps anymore. Yeah. So I imagine it's not an easy choice to make. I just, again... And it's not based on, hey, if you like the way Halo games play, I'm not talking about that. I just wish...
So fuck Halo, the
entity.
You could say the franchise.
Hey, that sounds like a lead-in.
You could say the franchise. Which for everybody listening, again, we try to keep a structure, do the same thing every episode, right? We have started to do a prompt every episode where one of us or both of us together come up with a prompt that we would like to ask the other person to kind of get to know, something about them, and you might get to know something about us. So our prompt for this week is, what are your top 5 video game franchises? They do not have to be in order, and it has to be a franchise. So it's not like a one-off, two-off game, right? It has to be categorized as a franchise. So, would you like to go first, or I go first? Okay. Oh, and also, hold up, I forgot this. There's a second part to the
1B
prompt, and then one franchise that you want to explore more. So one that you might have played like a game or two, and you're like, I know they have a ton of other games that I think I would enjoy. I just, for whatever reason, through life or whatever it is, just never got to it. But I am interested in it.
I will go first. I really thought about this, and like, again, not including one-off games or games that are part of franchises that I haven't played any other games in. Like, I've only played Persona 5. I feel like if I played Persona 5... So maybe just answer the second part of the question first. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Persona and Fire Emblem are games that I've only played one game in the franchise, and I feel like I really am sympathetic to. I would love to get more into...
Love to dive into them more.
And explore.
You've talked about Persona 5... Haven't you said that's one of your top, 5 games, right?
It's really, really fantastic.
I'm surprised then you haven't tried the other ones.
I just have put off buying them. Persona 5 also...
I understand.
Yeah.
I am fucking crazy with my library and what I put on the forefront and what I don't. I completely get it.
And I think they just came out with, remasters of 3 and 4. So they are available, remastered versions that have updated graphics and updated, voice stuff, and
that's nice. That's cool.
It's definitely something that I could engage with at some point. I just Persona 5 is just such an investment, and from what I've been able to glean online, it feels like Persona 5 also really like straightened out things that were like maybe half there, or like three-fourths there in the previous games. I think Persona 5 kind of, like, to the point where I don't even know what comes next, because I feel like they have maximized certain things, at least for our current console capabilities. But anyway, my Explore Mores are Fire Emblem and Persona.
Okay.
My top 5 franchises, just in terms of relevance to me, this is not a statement on
this isn't
what's
what
not
we think
featured.
Is like the top 5 franchises. It's our top 5 franchises.
Yeah. This isn't in order, but number 1, if it wasn't in order, is definitely Mass Effect. I mean, I played Mass Effect, all the games, so much as a child, and I loved the choices, and I loved, like, and I always
played... You know what's crazy? I've never played a Mass Effect game.
Woo! I mean, honestly...
That could be a future...
I would be very curious for your thoughts. I really feel like what sells it is a unique world, like a unique universe, and... I just feel like the lore. It is.
That was Xbox, wasn't it?
It was Xbox at the beginning.
That's why. That's why I've never gotten it.
You can get the full collection on like PlayStation.
Right on Steam too. Now.
Oh yeah. But no.
Gotta feed the Steam Deck.
Really? Oh yeah, definitely play it on there. Play it on there.
Yeah.
It's just really really cool.
All right, so Mass
Effect, BioShock. I really enjoyed those games as a kid. It was my first. The closest I ever really got to a horror game was BioShock, and I mean that's like sort of hard. It's not really hard.
It's like edgy.
It's dark. It's like you're underwater.
Yeah.
It's a crazy concept. Pokemon I did include on my list because when I think about the amount I had up from Fire Red, Leaf Green to, I think the last ones that I got were Black and White. But like within that time, I probably spent more time playing Pokemon than the other things on this list. You know what I mean? When I really think about it.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to say Dragon Age. Oh, sorry. What did you say?
I said, I know.
I'm going to say Dragon Age for my 4.
Okay. That's a good pick.
The last one that came out, kind of, they dropped the ball on some things. There were some things I liked, but overall, not my favorite entry in the franchise. But I do again, similar to Mass Effect, also BioWare game, I feel like they have really thoughtful world building in a way that it just feels like, again, because I was a kid, it feels like home to me. It feels very comfortable in terms of in like a game context. And then 5, it is nonsensical, but Kingdom Hearts is absolutely.
Oh, there we go.
It is 5.
Yeah, I remember you saying you're a big Kingdom Hearts.
I like it, and I feel like it's I don't want to say purely aesthetic, but something about like this 2005 edgy,
having an anime feeling media piece be tied to Disney, I feel like hit a lot of people, like loved it.
And Sora, the main anime boy in the game, goes to all these Disney worlds and has action team ups with the Disney companion of that world. So when you go to Nightmare Before Christmas, him and Jack Skellington have a team up where they get in the middle of the battlefield and do something. Him and Aladdin literally, bounce feet off each other and slice things in half. Like,
that's awesome.
It specifically is just cool to my 11-year-old brain, and it will always be. So those are my 5.
All right, sweet. That's a good 5. All right. Here are my top 5 video game franchises. And again, these are like pertain to me. They were in different parts of my life, and it's like what I played heavily, but also I think some of these like opened my eyes to other types of games, which I think is like very important. But number 1, we have to go the OG, Crash Bandicoot. I've talked about this many times.
No surprise.
That franchise has to be. I mean, that could even be number 1. I don't know. It's kind of tied with. Again, these aren't in order, but Crash Bandicoot. I mean, that was my first console game. As a young child with a original PlayStation, and even now to the games, like I love all their games, everything Crash Bandicoot, love it. Second one, Pokemon. Again, I feel like we just had like if you were in the hype that was Pokemon,
yeah,
when it was dropping, like when it was created, and just, oh my God, it was, there's a reason why it was like, you know, on the news everywhere. It was global news that kids were going nuts for Pokemon. Like, it was a craze, the pure definition of a craze.
And you did have to be there. It is.
I'm glad that kids are still liking Pokemon now. Like, that's great. But for people our age, it's just, yeah, it truly is. You had to be there.
It's kind of like the smallest of points of comparison. I just was talking about this at work, though, like, being of our generation, being like within like the 5-ish years of my age, and being gay, you do like Nicki Minaj to a degree, even though she's crazy. even though I would not endorse that human being, you had to be there. You had to be there. Really had to be there. So continue.
Yep, awesome. So yeah, I got Crash Bandicoot and Pokemon. Next up, this was one of the first times, you know, because these were like mid 2000s. I think the first one dropped in like 2006. This was one of the first franchises where I was, I think, old enough to appreciate, you know, maybe more of a complex story, or just, I don't know. I think once you hit a certain age with video games, it, you know, if you like single player games, it starts to take a pivot, right? And you start getting like really into these stories and characters. Uncharted was that for me.
Yeah.
I loved, like, the jump from PS2 to like PS3, that era, I think was like crazy. That was a huge jump. Same with like Xbox 360. And Uncharted was like one of the games for the PS3, and that sent me on, you know, like the single player Uncharted route.
I really feel like Uncharted, when I think about it, was really instrumental to that transition to like where we're at currently with like video game graphics, because like I remember they would use Uncharted games to like exhibit, this is what the new PlayStation can do. They would have those, like, I'm sure we watched the same YouTube videos.
Oh yeah,
at that time, but,
oh yeah. After all of the fake ones that were like, they were speculating what the new console was going to be or what it could do, and then they'd actually show you, and it was way less than what was speculated.
Yeah.
Watching those YouTube videos of like a rendering of like a controller for the Xbox 720. It's like, that was fucking nuts. But yeah, so Crash Bandicoot, Pokemon, Uncharted. I have to put this on. I've only played 2 of these games. This is a huge anticipation one for me too. But it just has to be, and it's heavily fueled by Skyrim, but the Elder Scroll games, or the Elder Scroll franchise.
Which other ones did you play?
Oblivion, the one before it. So I had that on the computer on Steam. That was one of the first, if not maybe the first Steam game I ever got, and that would like brick my laptop. But it was somewhat playable. But again, this is also because again, like Uncharted was a very like, I was anticipating the new ones coming out, and it sucks that we've had to wait this long for Elder Scroll games. Just like the same thing with Oblivion to Skyrim, and now Skyrim to whatever's next. As a kid who grew up like playing D&D and liking that kind of stuff, Skyrim was like, I can't remember the last time I've played a game like Skyrim and was just like amazing, like wow.
I will say, I did play Skyrim. I didn't like ever finish the game, quote unquote, if you could say that, but I did play it a whole bunch when it came out, because it was in the same way we're talking about. When it came out, you just had to be there, and there are things that to this I've only ever played it. I thought about putting it on my franchise list, but then I took an arrow to the knee. You know what I mean? Like there is you had to be there. Yeah, there is just awareness.
Yeah, it was incredible. Which I guess 2 out of my 5 are definitely had to be there. Number 5, and this I think was a very important franchise. Not only did I love it, and I played it a lot when I was younger, kind of like mid of life, but it opened the door to me to strategy games. I feel like I've never, as a kid, you don't necessarily, I feel like commercials and the way you're guided as a kid getting into video games, you're not so much thinking of like strategy-based games, but the Age of Empires franchise.
Yeah.
Love that. That branched off into many different games that I like that also were strategy. I remember playing an Age of Empires It was Age of Empires and Stronghold Crusaders, which was Age of Empires before it was Age of Empires. And yeah, those, I remember going to my friend's house and playing that on their computer. And I think that was also a big computer game kind of like opening to me. Before, it had always been the Game Boy or like the PlayStations, but then I was like, oh wow, like these are the kind of games you could play on a computer. So yeah, that just opened a huge door for me for strategy games. And every once in a while, I get a huge kick of just like, I need to play strategy. Like I need to do like turn-based shit. I need to do like all that kind of stuff. I need to start playing strategy. So I credit that to that. And plus, I love those games. Age of Mythology, I thought was the coolest one. Where it was Age of Empires, but it was all like the different mythology. So like you do Greek or like Egyptian.
Oh, yeah,
It was pretty cool.
You would live for Stellaris. Remind me to talk about
We've
Stellaris.
talked about that a little bit. Yeah, we do need to talk about it. And then my one franchise that I want to explore more, and again, they had a couple huge games on the PS2, but there's a ton of games now that have come out, and I've played a couple of the new ones, but not nearly the ones I think I should play. But the Star Wars franchise.
Oh, like Star Wars: The Force Unleashed.
Yes, like all those. They have single player games now. I guess they have the Lego games, but I've never really played the Lego ones. I played like the newest Battlefield, but that wasn't
Battlefront, maybe.
Battlefront, yeah. Star Wars Battlefront.
Not to correct you.
Yeah, no, you're good. Yeah, I played that. That was alright. I don't think I played the second one, but I loved like Battlefront 1 and 2. I think there's even like there's strategy Star Wars games that you can play. There's like Star Wars racing games. Like there's all kinds of Star Wars games, and I feel like some of those, at least some of like the single player games, for example, like Force Unleashed, and what was that other one where they used that the redheaded guy who plays.
You
know what I'm talking about? That
Star Wars something Jedi, and then the latest one was Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Yes. Okay. I feel like I could maybe get into those. I don't know. And I've never had like a real drive to like try those games, but there's something about them where like I feel like that'd be cool.
They're cool games. I played those. I think they're pretty cool.
Okay.
I would say you.
You know what I'm talking about though? That actor. Yeah, he played like young.
He was in
Joker.
Shameless.
He was in Shameless. He played the young Joker in that Batman series.
Yeah,
young Batman. I mean, he's played a lot of stuff now, but I just remember
the Joker in that. Show.
And you know why? That's why I think about him is because I had a friend my freshman year of college who loved that show to the point where he'd put it on sometimes when we were hanging out, and I'd watch it with him here and there. That was my first introduction to that actor. Wow. He was young Joker. Yeah. Oh yeah, but those are my franchise picks. Maybe that's something where like Mass Effect, for example. Again, we got to get streaming. We keep saying we will, but eventually we will. And maybe once we kind of see how that formulates for us in our schedules, maybe because like you said, it's like a decision based game. Like that'd be kind of cool to play together.
Oh, I think I'm just thinking Mass Effect 1. I would say not that it's.
And they did a bunch of remakes. You said right, so that'd be cool to get.
I don't want to say that it's like poorly aged, but it's going to be a slog because they really upgrade to 2, where I feel like they really maximize.
We could do 2. I mean, we don't have to. Do 1,
but it's cool. It's cool, and in my mind's eye version of this, that probably won't happen because we have jobs and lives. Yeah. But
you're like you need to play it from the start.
Well, because your save carries, so what you do in 1 impacts 2, impacts 3.
Wow, and I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Certain people that you save or kill in 1 will show up at the end to fight the galactic threat, and that's part of what is so cool about Mass Effect.
That's very cool.
We will talk more about that.
That is a franchise I know nothing, like absolutely nothing about. So yeah, maybe that's something we can put on the list.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then like every other episode, we like to end with a recommendation, which I'm already getting a Mass Effect.
I know. I feel like I recommended like 8 things tonight, but.
Yeah, I feel like, do you maybe want me to start with a recommendation? You finish this off?
You go for it.
All right, mine's not too big. It really is not that complex of a game. I realize that I'm always on this podcast bitching that certain things with like new Pokemon games and how they just need to make a modern 2D type Pokemon game. Well, I have played some, third-party off-brand type Pokemon games that are exactly that. There's a game I bought it on Steam. I think you can also get it on the Switch, and maybe on your phone. I don't know, because I could easily see it being like just turn your phone sideways and play. But it's called Coromon.
Coromon.
So it's exactly what it sounds. It's like a modern 2D, like kind of pixely sprited knockoff Pokemon game. And it's cool because they have like a very similar to Pokemon, where it's like they give you like a Pokedex and like go out and do this stuff for us, and they're like, oh, you're like going to be a part of like the research department, and we need help saving the world, and like you got to go, do this, do that. I'm not going to go too big into the story, but it's very much, oh, you're a part of this kind of like tech thing. We're going to go send you out, and you need to go capture these Coromon, you need to battle these Coromon, like that kind of thing. I'd say it'd probably take you maybe like 10 hours to beat or something, or 12, like very much the same kind of length of like a Pokemon game.
Okay.
But it's 2D, but modern, that's something that I always said would be cool if actual Game Freak and Pokemon did. Very short and sweet to the point, and it's more difficult than regular Pokemon. So there are parts to it where there are like puzzles, or even like that boss battles where there's like a mega fucking like Coromon being thing they have to fight, or even the battles that you have with other trainers, traveling the routes. There aren't quite as much like money and healing, so like there's times where I've like actually blacked out on a route, and it was because it was just difficult. Like I got so far into the route that I was like, I don't have healing, like all this stuff, and even trying to backtrack. Some of the wild like Coromon are like hard to run away from, like that kind of stuff. So yeah, no, it's kind of what I've been asking for in this podcast to exist. And I was looking through my games to see like, what should I recommend? I'm like, well, I've already done the third party version of that. I feel like if people want that, that's a perfect one. I've given a couple of my friends this recommendation, and they've played it, and they're like, yeah, again, not the best game in the world, but like it scratches that itch. It scratches it. It has cool evolutions. They have all the same kind of like technical strategy stuff where like, Pokemon have like types, and they have certain abilities and that affect like what they can and can't do, like their like passive abilities and stuff. So yeah, if you feel like that's something you would like, and when you hear me bitching on this podcast, you're like, yeah, exactly that. Then play that or try it. You maybe already played it. But I think it's...
How do you spell it?
Coromon. So Coromon.
Coromon.
Yeah. Yep. And again, I'm almost positive it's on the Switch as well, which is crazy because that's like a direct competitor. But yeah, I played it on the... I actually got it before I got the Steam Deck, and I was ripping it on the PC. And then I got the Steam Deck, and I was like, "Well, I need to restart." I was like, "Now I really know how this game works, and I got a handheld. I want to restart." And so yeah, no, it's a good game. So yeah, try it out.
Nice. I have never heard of Coromon before, so
it's cool.
Maybe if I saw it, I would know.
Yeah, I'll try to. Maybe I can pull up a quick. I had it on my Steam app here. I was going through Steam, like looking at all my library.
Oh yeah.
It's not that expensive either, which is very nice. It does not break the bank. Like I think I got it for like $10 or something like that. So you can see I've played 30.7 hours. So, and I've played like a couple times.
I literally have never seen this before.
Why can't I go to the? I wish I could go to the store page. Hold up. I'm like, I never use the Steam app, to be completely honest. So hold up, let me go to the here. Okay, so right now it's $20, and I probably got it on a sale for like 10 or something. But still, even $20 for like something that's doing better, in my opinion, than modern Pokemon.
Yeah, beating them at their own game.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, you can see here it claims over 40 hours of gameplay. I have 30 into it. But yeah, you can see there's all these like puzzles and stuff.
Oh
yeah. And, you're like a little like researcher scientist guy, very pixelated. There's the evolutions of like their starters. There's like potent Pokemon, which are essentially their version of shiny Pokemon. But I think they do it better in the fact that they're a little easier to achieve, like find, right? They're not like 1 in 4,000 chance, but they are harder to find than normal Pokemon. And shinies in like regular Pokemon, they're just shiny. They're just like a cool like color. They change the color, but they also are like stronger.
There's like a boost.
There's like a boost, yeah, which is cool.
Well, just looking at that and hearing all this, I'm like, I know that development team was
dodging
like through the laser wire thing to avoid the lawsuit.
The fact that this is available, how it is, yeah.
Looks more like Pokemon than I thought it would. But
yeah.
you know, I'm sure they did their research.
Oh, yeah,
it's on Steam now, so hey. No,
they use spinners instead of Pokeballs. It's like a little like it looks like a fidget spinner, and you chuck it out, and it goes, and it like
but you literally are throwing it out.
But then the blades of the spinner, when it's caught, like retract into the middle, so it just looks like a little like cylinder.
Oh.
But yeah, it makes a cool noise. All the audio is very cool. So like when you throw the spinners, like you know, like I don't know, it's cool. It's a cool game. And again, good price, I think. Yeah.
I for my recommendation.
You told me you're excited about this, or you're gonna really talk about it. So
I am excited because
yeah.
I'm curious if you've seen anything from this. My recommendation this week, also a let's $29.99, so $30 game.
Oh, okay. Hey, this day and age, that's
just came out this weekend. Dispatch. Have you heard anything about Dispatch?
So it just came out, and you're already recommending. Wow, I love that. This is fresh.
So
Dispatch.
This is a recommendation with a caveat, but Dispatch is a game made by the people who make Critical Role. It is a choice-based game set in a superhero world where you are a former superhero. I believe your name is Mecha Man.
Okay.
You have no powers, and your suit is destroyed, and you get recruited by another superhero to work as a dispatcher.
And it's only PS5 and PC.
I guess so. I knew it was PC.
Which I guess
well.
PC now, it feels like Xbox going towards just like that. Everything's interconnected now, so that's like basically on Xbox too. But yeah, sorry. Continue.
No, you get hired at a agency as a dispatcher for a team of superheroes. And so you get a grid map of the city, and you get different pop-ups, emergency calls, people calling your agency saying, my cat is stuck in a tree. I need someone to come speak at a museum opening. There's a robbery going on. There's a car chase going on. And you, looking at the skills of the heroes, have to dispatch the most appropriate heroes to address each job.
Oh, wow.
And they have different interactions and things.
Oh, that sounds right down your alley. I can understand why you're recommending this.
Very, very cool. It has an amazing voice cast. I'm pretty sure
I was just gonna say, it says Aaron Paul.
He's the main voice.
Major video game debut.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
He is the main guy. Mecha Man.
Science, bitch.
And
is that him or is that? Yeah, that's him. In what's it called? Fucking Walter White.
Yeah. I don't watch Breaking Bad. So
Breaking Bad. There we go. That's like the fact that I couldn't even think of Breaking Bad. I need a brain scan right now.
Cranston?
No, I was just saying him in Breaking Bad. He's like, yeah, science, bitch. Like, it's like a meme. All that just to say it was a meme. No, you're good.
My hair tie. But what I was going to say, basically, this game I do like. So there are it's episodic. There are 2 episodes out now.
The animation looks cool.
Yes. And 2 episodes release every Wednesday for the next month. So the game is not out yet.
Oh,
so
they're releasing sections of it that you play through.
2 of them are out. Once you finish an episode,
That's
it tells you what percentage of players made certain choices.
Wow.
I'll say, like, for example, an early one is like, you get flirty vibes from one character, and you get the choice to either kiss her or not kiss her. And then at the end of the episode, it tells you what percentage of players chose to kiss her versus not kiss her. And same for like certain actions and things. But
that is such a cool idea. I really like that. That seems different and fun.
What I will say, and this is why I don't want to say hesitant, but I think I just was playing it, and I'm the superhero guy. I'm gonna claim that. I'm gonna own that.
I mean, yeah, that's for this at least.
I really like technically and like artistically everything that is going on. But I think in a general sense, I just am on the lookout right now for, I think there's like a little bit of an intellectual backslide going on right now, like across the board. We're talking about brain rot.
For the actual school board results of the nation's youth, yes.
Very
literally going down.
And I think I worry a little bit about the way that is going to impact superhero media, because I think superheroes are a really easy thing to get wrong and a really easy thing to, where we made strides in recent years, maybe not across the board. Like, I don't know that the MCU is necessarily like breaking the mold, but X-Men comics in 2020 definitely were. And you were exploring like what truly is superheroism and what are we doing? Because you know, this is obviously, there's no such thing as like a superhero dispatcher in the real world. This is like 911 operators and stuff who are people like I have a ton of sympathy for. But at the same time, you know, and this statement would have been less controversial to say 5 years ago, so this is kind of about shifting times, but like, you know, police aren't superheroes, and police historically like are not the people that should be responding to things. And I see, I'm not calling this game propaganda, I'm not doing that, but it's a concern of mine, and I can't say that because the game's not all the way out. So I'm very excited to see the arc of this game. I really, like I said, artistically love it. But it made me think a little bit about in the most recent Avengers run. And this is just in the first issue. The Avengers are assembling, and Captain Marvel is the leader of this iteration of the team. And her and Iron Man are talking, and he's like, you know, in the past I tried too hard to be like, you know, to police the world. And Carol Danvers says in response, the Avengers can't be like, we're not police officers, we're firefighters. We are people that address this, you know, crisis, sans, whatever. And hey, I don't all the way love that statement, because to act like firefighting isn't politicized and certain people, you know what I mean? Sure. Right? I'm covering all my bases, but I say all that to say I like the sentiment of that, because I think it relays something about our expectations for, like, I don't want to say the government, but like, you know, like policing our communities and what that means. And I don't think that, like, just because superheroes are often, you know, world police and that's the vibe, I don't think that that's what it has to be. And for this game to be solidified for me, it's already so high. I love it. For it to be solidified, I would love interrogation of like superheroism. The cool. Team that you and I'm saying all this because I really like what the team is doing, and I'm optimistic. But the team that you are dispatching for, it's like Team Phoenix or something, I think. But the concept is these are all former supervillains that have signed on to this agency to be a part of this team. So even the personalities are clashing. They're kind of assholes to you. They don't respect you. They're like, oh yeah, the last guy lasted 2 days doing this. Like, good luck. But you are immediately sympathetic to these people that, like, you know, what is a supervillain? Is a supervillain someone that like steals money to feed their family? Because I mean, like I said, SNAP benefits are cut off in a week, so what are we talking about? But all that to say, even the fact that I'm having this conversation should be an endorsement, because I really like the concept of this game. I'm excited for the direction it's taking. I don't think that it's propaganda, to be clear. I'm just saying that in a joking way, because I would deflate if I felt like there was less than appropriate interrogation of some of the themes that play here. But I do trust the team, and Critical Role is pretty, you know,
hey, they've been killing it.
They're pretty on it.
They've been killing it. Yeah.
I think that I am excited to see what this yields, and I genuinely think you should play it.
This is the first time I've ever heard of this. I'm surprised I haven't. I really like, because I like how we went through that phase of releasing shows where it went from, hey, things would release on cable at a certain time every week, to then streaming was like, oh, here's the whole season, right? And then now we're kind of back to that era of like, no, it's fun to anticipate and get hyped for the next week, for the next episode or whatever it is. The fact that that's being done with like a video game is very, very cool.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, the next part of the game doesn't release until same time next week. That is so cool. Like, that alone, I don't even care what the topic is of the game or how the game plays, that just immediately I'm intrigued in that. Like that is very cool.
Listen, and if you're worried about commitment, like I said, it is $30 and
I just saw it's on sale,
$27 and the episodes are only 2 out right now, and you could probably beat both of them. They're probably 45 minutes each. So I'm just saying, if you want to hop on the train,
when do they release like the next, like what day?
Wednesday. So then episodes 3 and 4 come out on Wednesday. So
that's pretty cool.
Just put it out there.
Cool.
That's my recommendation.
How many episodes are going to be?
I think 8. So 8 or 10. I'll look it up.
Yeah, I'll have to let you know. That is something, and I like how it's only, like you say, 45 minutes an hour, and then you wait for next week. Like,
and you can.
It's not a huge commitment, you know. Like,
and I feel like you're kind of encouraged to replay, and I'm sure. Again, it's kind of like Mass Effect, where the story builds episode to episode, where certain choices impact. Yeah. You know, in episode 1, I made a choice to kiss the character who I felt was flirting with me, and then she was like, I'm not flirting with you. Not to spoil the outcome of that. But then that tension from episode 1 carried into episode 2 when I saw her at work the next day.
Yeah,
and then that's happening. You know, so again, I'm excited for the future episodes to come out because I think I'll have multiple save files where I make different choices we'll get to at the end see the conclusion for like all of these different things. I am hyped.
Yeah, y'all. That's awesome. That's a great recommendation.
Yeah. So that's all I got today. I don't know if you have anything before.
That's about all we got. I think that was a good. Some good topics.
I think so.
I think our next episode, we were talking, since we have some different travel plans and everything, it'll still be released at the same time, but we might film it at a different time than we usually do. And it might incorporate costumes. We'll see. I don't know. I guess I said it.
I mean, I was going to say, it was a maybe. It was a maybe. Just solidified.
I was like, that's kind of cool. Like, you know,
yeah.
Like, why film if we're not going to do stuff like that?
Yeah, I agree.
So, yeah, I don't know. Stay tuned. You know. Like.
What?
Like and subscribe.
Oh, like and subscribe. Sorry.
I feel like you're always that person.
Like, comment, subscribe. Comment your. Are you dressing up for Halloween? What's the vibe? You know,
or just anything. We haven't been doing too great so far on I guess like pushing this on socials.
The social media game is lacking.
We've been trying to just get things on film and on so people can listen. So when we do give this to friends. That they have kind of some episodes to listen to. So yeah, that'll really help if you guys start, I guess, commenting and liking. And, you know, I don't know. It gives us something that we can then address next time and makes you feel like you're a part of it. So.
Yeah, no. Thanks for sticking with us if you made it to the end.
Hell yeah.
And we will be back next week to talk more about stuff like this. So
everything.
Yeah.
So, all right, awesome. Have a good rest of your week, and always a pleasure.
See ya.